Well, hello guys, it is that time once again for another edition of Odds and Ends, where I read you some really weird news stories from all over the world, and hey, they don't call it Odds and Ends for a reason, you know? I apologize for it being a little late though. I would have done this yesterday though, but things came up at the last minute and I had to push it back to today. Probably gonna make Thursdays on Friday or the weekend, because I mean, if I do this Odds and Ends and then just a regular day and then do it on Thursday, it'd be a little weird though. But so yeah, I'm thinking about pushing this one back till about maybe Friday or Saturday, and then after that it's gonna be on Thursdays for sure, just because of this whole last minute ordeal though. But so anyways, I have my stories. Let's begin. Our first story comes out of Austria, where an Austrian court has ordered that a bank robber be given back 63,000 euros, or $80,000 in parentheses, that he stole nearly 20 years ago. Bank manager Otto Neumann was convicted of setting up a fake robbery and stealing nearly 180,000 euros, or $250,000 in parentheses, in American currency, in cash, plus a number of gold bars and gold coins from the Erste Bank branch in Vienna's Dobling district where he worked. By the time police figured out the plot, Neumann and his accomplices had spent all but 63,000 euros and the gold. The gold eventually went to the insurance company that paid off the bank for its losses. The money, on the other hand, had been sitting at the Austrian Justice Ministry ever since it was recovered. Neumann's lawyer, Herbert Essensterg, was contacted by court officials looking to return the loot to his client. Turns out the bank had no claim on the money, since it had been compensated by the insurance company. The insurance company didn't want the money either, since the gold had increased so much in value between the time it was stolen and the time it was recovered, that it covered all the losses paid out to the bank. Quote, "I really didn't believe what the court was telling me, what the court were telling me, but I checked it and it was correct," Eschender told Austria's Hitu newspaper. Eschender managed to dig up records of the case and contacted his former client, now aged 63. Quote, "To say that he was surprised was an understatement, but he provided his bank account details and the money has now been transferred. Neumann served 3.5 years for the robbery." What are the odds of that happening? You rob a bank and that money that you stole, turns out they give it back to you. So, and you're 63. That's pretty much close to retirement. So, not a bad way to start out. But robbery, yeah, not gonna look good on you. But moving on. Our next story comes out of Florida, where a man in Port St. Lucie avoided charges of lewd and lascivious behavior by showing a police officer his junk. The incident began on Tuesday, October 16th, around 7 p.m., when a woman reported seeing a man masturbating in the parking lot of a Publix grocery store. According to the police report, the woman saw the suspect, quote, in his vehicle with his hand making an up and down motion in the area of his crotch. She did not, however, see his penis. When confronted by police officers, the unnamed suspect told them he had a rash on his testicles and, quote, got the urge to scratch. Naturally, police asked the suspect if he could show them the rash, quote, to provide he was not doing anything. The police report goes on to say that the man, quote, presented his testicles to Officer Chamberlain, and that the officer, quote, verified the man's rash. The man was released without a citation. Okay, so let's break this down. You have a rash on your junk. A woman thinks you're, letting one out in the middle of a parking lot. Wow, man, let me tell you. Very, very weird, and you have to whip it out in front of a police officer. That's probably embarrassing enough. Sheesh. But, I mean, as long as he provided evidence, they probably just say, okay, don't do it again in public. or, you know, get it taken care of ASAP so that way this doesn't happen again. That's probably what I told him, because they didn't say exactly what he said after it was presented. So, yep. Very weird. Moving on. Our next story comes out of Michigan, where pop star Justin Bieber is in hot legal water. He's being sued by a Detroit man who says the teenage singer stole his credit card and used it to buy penis enhancement surgery. I'm sorry, but that is freaking hilarious. Oh, God. According to court papers, the man says Bieber stole his credit card, used it to purchase $426.78 worth of penis enlargement, and never paid him back. The documents also say the millionaire pop icon used the unauthorized American Express card to buy an abortion for his longtime girlfriend and to purchase cocaine for pal Sean, quote, P. Diddy Combs, quote, to use in drug-free school zones. According to CBS Detroit, the man identifies himself as the father of Bieber's girlfriend Selena Gomez, a claim that is listed as, quote, unsubstantiated. Celeb watching website TMZ notes that later on in his rambling lawsuit, the plaintiff claims, quote, Usher Raymond came to my house on the 4th of July in 2012 and sodomized me with a firework and lit it inside my anal area while blaring Katy Perry Sync fireworks song in my eardrums. No word yet on whether Bieber will be dragged into court regarding the lawsuit. Okay, obviously this man's on drugs. If he is suing Justin Bieber saying that he stole his credit card and bought $426.78 to be exact, to buy a penis enhancement, buy his girlfriend an abortion, and cocaine for Diddy. And Usher came to your house and lit a firework in your anal area while singing Katy Perry's Firework. Obviously, this man's on drugs or some form of hallucination. Therefore, this isn't really going to fly, and he's not going to really be dragged into court unless there's actual evidence of this happening. Then I want to know what the fuck was going on at the time. That's what I want to know, how the hell this happened, because this is just one giant clusterfuck to begin with. So, yeah. Of course, we all remember what happened the last time he got dragged into court for knocking up a 14-year-old girl, claiming to be Justin Bieber's father. If he actually was the father, the first time I heard this story, and if Justin Bieber actually was the father, I would have laughed my ass off so hard, and it would have taught him to think with his brain and not with his penis. But obviously, it turned out negative. So let's see how this one goes. But moving on to our last story, which comes out of New York, where the Post-Standard in Syracuse reports 28-year-old Arthur Burgundy was arrested and charged with fourth-degree grand larceny after he returned to the bank he had just robbed to complain that the teller had not given him the correct amount of money. At about 9 a.m. on Monday, October 22nd, Burgundy entered the Alliance Bank, walked up to the teller, and demanded $20,000 in cash. At first she refused, but Burgundy repeated his demand and eventually made off with an undisclosed amount of cash. Apparently, after leaving the bank, Burgundy stopped to count his haul. Since the money turned out to be less than $20,000, the robber went back to the bank to get the correct amount from the teller. Unfortunately for Burgundy, the bank was locked up because it had just been robbed. Police, responding to the bank's 911 call, found Burgundy banging on the front door trying to get back in. He was taken into custody without incident and is being held in Onondaga County Justice Center pending arrangement. You have got to be one stupid criminal if, one, you go to a bank teller, demand $20,000, they give it to you. Secondly, you stop, you count it, it comes up short, and you go back to demand them, knowing that the place is locked, knowing that it's just been robbed, and knowing that they're going to call 911 to arrest you because you were the one who just robbed the bank. You stupid idiot. Think before you do something like that ever again. But you were being charged with fourth-degree grand larceny, so obviously you're going to go to jail for a very, very long time, and you're probably not going to get out on bail, and you're going to serve maybe 25 to life with that high degree. But so anyways, guys, that is it for this edition of Odds and Ends, and I really hope you guys enjoy listening to those stories as much as I like reading them to you. And like I said before earlier in this Odds and Ends story, I will be probably doing this week's, probably not towards the Friday or the weekend, just because I didn't want to do this one, get a break, and then do another one on the day that I get my source. So we'll do it Friday, Saturday, you know, give it some more time. Then I'll be back to my Thursday schedule for sure. So anyways, guys, that is it. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.